And this is a Fox News alert. Terror has struck Europe once again. Earlier today, an 18-year-old German-Iranian opened fire, killing 9, wounding 16 others in Munich. Now, tonight, authorities say the gunman's motives, well, they're still, quote, fully unclear. Now, amateur video shows when the shooter opened fire on pedestrians outside of a McDonald's. We've got to warn you, the video you're about to see is extremely graphic. Watch this. Here now with the very latest in D.C. is Fox News Chief Intelligence Correspondent Catherine Herridge. Catherine, we hear that sound all too often.
Well, that's right, Sean. Tonight, ISIS social media accounts are lighting up and celebrating the attack in Munich the same way they did a week ago when an ISIS supporter mowed down 84 people with his truck in Nice, France. But to be clear, there's been no claim of responsibility for the shooting, and the Munich police chief just told German television it's too early to say whether it was a terrorist attack or a shooting rampage. The latest information is that the suspect was 18 years old, and the shooter's body was found about 2.5 hours after the attack in a side street near the mall. Based on a review of security camera video and interviews, the German police have concluded that 2 others who fled the scene had nothing to do with the attack. At one point today, they were searching for as many as 3 suspects. This is the 3rd major attack against civilians in Western Europe in the last 8 days. On Monday night, a teenage Afghan refugee wielding a machete attacked 5 people on a German commuter train, turning the carriage into a slaughterhouse. That attack claimed by ISIS, posting a crude martyrdom video of the suspect online. And last week, a 31-year-old Frenchman mowed down families gathering to watch the fireworks celebrating France's Independence Day. The latest intelligence suggests his driver plotted the attacks for months in advance and had at least 4 accomplices. We don't know a lot about tonight's attack or the motivation in Munich, but a terrorism analyst is drawing our attention to the fact that the targeting of children at the Munich McDonald's and in Nice, this is the style of attack that is advocated by terror groups because murdering children leaves the deepest scar in the community, Sean.
Hey, Catherine, agreed totally. Thank you for your report. One quick
You're
question.
welcome.
There had been an earlier report during the day that it might not be radical Islam, that it could in fact be some type of racial group. That has now been debunked.
Well, it's unclear based on what the Munich police chief said. He said it's either one of 2 things. He says it's either a shooting rampage or terrorism, and he's still waiting to assess that based on what they find in the electronics, which would be the phones and the computers.
All right. Thanks so much, Catherine
You're
Herridge.
welcome.
Joining us now with more, the author of Defeating Jihad, The Winnable War, Dr. Sebastian Gorka, and the host of War Stories, Colonel Oliver North. I want to go to Donald Trump's speech last night, and this is the shorter version of Hillary's legacy of failure, because it's so appropriate in light of assassinations of police officers, which is they're now being ambushed as they lie in wait, and then similarly every other day, if it's not that, it's a terror attack. Listen to Donald Trump.
ISIS has spread across the region and the entire world. Libya is in ruins, and our ambassador and his staff were left helpless to die at the hands of savage killers. Egypt was turned over to the radical Muslim Brotherhood, forcing the military to retake control. Iraq is in chaos. Iran is on the path to nuclear weapons. Syria is engulfed in a civil war, and a refugee crisis now threatens the West. After 15 years of wars in the Middle East, after trillions of dollars spent and thousands of lives lost, the situation is worse than it has ever been before. This is the legacy of Hillary Clinton: death, destruction, terrorism, and weakness.
The situation is worse than it's ever been. The legacy of Hillary Clinton: death, destruction, terrorism, weakness. Colonel North, reaction.
Well, and Obama went today and said this vision of violence and chaos everywhere doesn't square with what most Americans know. I think most Americans know exactly what what Mr. Trump said last night. And I think what's happened in Munich today says otherwise to what the president said. Look, we are living in a new world disorder, and the litany he just ran through last night is right on the mark. And it all began with these guys coming to town. As Dr. Gorka knows, 2009, the failed backing of the Green Revolution in Iran. 2011, he surrenders the ground that was won with American blood in Iraq. Russia and China rampant with the I could go on with the other litany. You don't need it. It's all there. And he's right, and Hillary's wrong.
Well, and Hillary is wrong. What do you make, Dr. Gorka, about Obama? The world has never been less violent. What altered reality is he living in? What Alice in Wonderland fantasy is he in as of right now? Because it's almost on a daily basis, sadly, we have to report this.
It's like the movie The Matrix, and he's in the Matrix and he refuses to take the red pill. He's created this narrative and he just has to live in it. And the Colonel's absolutely right. I'm going to have to steal that phrase. This is a new world disorder. And you know who's responsible for it? Hillary Clinton as Secretary of State and the Commander-in-Chief, Barack Obama. Think about just two things, two data points that cannot be gainsaid. Number one, 2015 saw the highest number of jihadi plots on U.S. territory since September the 11th. The highest number. This is when ISIS is meant to be on the ropes. And secondly, today in the world, we have the highest number of refugees in human history, more than 60 million refugees. This is when the world's supposed to be great, and the president says to us today, go out and enjoy the sunshine and the birds.
Colonel, I'll go back to you. I mean, he has been wrong all along. They're not the JV team. They were not contained before the Paris attack. He said this, Obama saying yesterday, the world has never been less violent. You know, it seems giving the Iranians money. Now they'll be able to build the bomb with our money in half the time. Helping Mohammed Morsi of the Muslim Brotherhood when he was the head of Egypt with F-16s and tanks, a man that once referred to Jews as descendants of apes and pigs. How can you be this wrong this often on something this important?
He has the bully pulpit, and either he is delusional or he's simply not reading his intelligence reports. He gets a presidential daily brief every single day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Radical Islamists have launched 1,000+ terror attacks around the world with their 43 different affiliates in 34 countries. And you've got Iran and North Korea, as you just point out, colluding on nuclear weapons and the means of delivering them. And the icon of the Obama foreign policy is to denigrate the only democratic ally in the Middle East, Israel. It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever.
Dr. Gorka, let me combine a military question and a political question. If you can identify, and Donald Trump talked about this last night, and I thought the line that we just played about him taking on Hillary was just absolutely devastating, a legacy of death, destruction, terrorism, and weakness. When you can acknowledge radical Islam, you can't say the words, and you come up with euphemisms, man-caused disasters, overseas contingencies, workplace violence. How can you possibly expect under Hillary Clinton it's going to get any better, considering it's gotten so bad under Obama and her?
Imagine if it's 1941 and it's Pearl Harbor. And the people in power say in the White House, in the national security establishment, yeah, Tojo and the Emperor, I guess their daddy didn't love them. Yeah, they need a hug. They need more love. Did we say that about Hitler? Did we say that about the communists? They're just unemployed. They need a little bit of kumbaya. Let's sing a song together with them.
No. You forgot jobs for jihadis. Don't forget.
Jobs for jihadis. Yeah. You would have been court-martialed if you'd said that. In the Cold War, you would have been fired. Your feet would have not touched the ground if you'd said absurdities like that. Those absurdities are the actual narrative of the current administration upon which our policies are built.
Good to see you both. Thank you. By the way,